Welcome everybody to Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana for the last regular season matchup between the Kokomo Jackrabbits and the Traverse City Pitspitters. The Pitspitters won a thriller last night in extra innings, and they never trailed in the game, and the runs went back and forth. When Traverse City took a one-run lead, Kokomo would answer right back, doing so in the ninth inning as well when Traverse City got a run in the ninth. Kokomo scored to send it to extras. They couldn't answer in the 10th, as Tito Flores' sacrifice fly was the difference maker, and Flores is in the lineup tonight. And here is the Traverse City starting lineup. Trey Younger leading off in left field, Mario Camaletti at second base, Tito Flores in right field, Crispin Rowe at first base. A very familiar 2 through 4 in the lineup. Evan Mayday in center field following him in row. Michael Steigels is going to DH tonight, followed by Miguel Useche, the catcher, Camden Traficante at shortstop, and Christian Faust rounding out the lineup at the hot corner. This lineup facing Dylan Delvecchio for the second time. They faced him back on July 31st, Game 1 of the final series played in Turtle Creek, when Traverse City won 6-0. All 6 of those earned runs coming against Dylan Delvecchio. He's going to have to try to tame this lineup tonight, as they had a lot of success against him last time he pitched on the season. Dylan Delvecchio has an 8.16 ERA in 6 starts, 14 innings pitched. That last outing, 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 walks, 6 earned runs. So Traverse City, let's see if they can be patient here tonight and work some counts and get themselves on base, as Trey Younger stands into the batter's box, ready to get things started here in Kokomo. 6:35 Eastern Time as Delvecchio, the left-hander, deals a first pitch strike that Younger fouls straight back and out of play. Younger was 1 for 3 against Delvecchio back on the 31st. Had 2 RBIs, an RBI ground out and an RBI double. Shoots one to the right side. A fair ball down the first baseline. Younger is going to get at least 2. And it looks like he's going to hold there. A lead-off double for Trey Younger and the Pitspitters. 1 batter into the game. Have something cooking. You can't ask for a better start than that. No one on the Pitspitters roster goes the opposite way better than Trey Younger. Shoots one just inside the first base bag down into the right field corner. Jacob Marcy chased it down, and Younger into second. Just a couple pitches into this ball game with a double. That brings in Mario Camaletti, whose on-base percentage right now is at an even perfect .500 on the season. Reached base twice last night, 1 single and 1 walk. Lefty here against Delvecchio. Shoots one to left and going to be caught by the left fielder, Spillane. Camaletti hit that one hard, but right at the left fielder, and so he is going to go back to the bench. That brings in Tito Flores. Just 3 pitches into the ball game. Younger doubled on the second pitch. Camaletti attacking pitch number 1. Almost had a pair of opposite field hits there, but Camaletti hit one just a little too hard, and he'll be okay with that result. Tito Flores, the hitter, had the game-winning sacrifice fly last night. His fly ball to center field in the top of the 10th inning scored Christian Faust, which would be the difference maker, as Traverse City won 4-3 in extras. Had a first inning double in the game yesterday with 2 outs, no one on. Now he has a runner aboard. First pitch swinging, hits it to right in the air. Jacob Marcy's over. He'll make the catch. And Traverse City being aggressive here in the first inning, attacking pitches early in the count. Younger swung at the first pitch and fouled it off, then doubled. Camaletti on the first pitch lines out to left. Flores on the first pitch flies out to right. So all three batters swinging at the first pitch. Only Younger has reached base. There's 2 away for Chris Monroe. First time in row is facing Del Vecchio. He was not in the lineup the last time they played. Younger on the first pitch as well, down the third baseline, snagged by Santiago. His throw wide of first. It pulls Dennis off the bag, and that's going to allow Chris Monroe to reach safely. But Dennis saving a run, picking that ball out of the dirt and not letting it kick into foul territory. So Younger holds at first. The inning continues on the E5 by Chris Santiago at third. Again, first pitch swinging is Traverse City, a guy that has shown a tendency to be wild. He's walked multiple batters his last 3 appearances, and 2 of those were only in 2 innings. Mayday on the first pitch as well, up the middle. Second baseman Fields flips to the shortstop covering the bag, and that's going to end the inning. A very aggressive approach in the first. Del Vecchio only threw 6 pitches in the inning. Every single batter swung at the first pitch, and it results in no runs on the scoreboard. We'll go to the bottom of the first, and on the mound is Ryland Tinsley for Traverse City, looking for the sweep here on Pittsburgh Radio. Bottom of the first inning here in Kokomo as Ryland Tinsley will take the hill for Traverse City. The defense around him, you got Chris Monroe at first, Mario Camaletti at second, Cameron Traficante at short, and Christian Faust at third. So the same second shortstop and third baseman, only Monroe, new addition, taking over for Jake Arnold at first. Trey Younger is in left field, Evan Mayday in center field, and Tito Flores over in right field. And Miguel Useche back behind the plate for another game, making his 6th appearance in 7 days. Adam Proctor has a slight injury, so he has not been in the lineup, and Logan Heilick started just 1 game in Rockford, but Useche now has taken the last 4 games against Kokomo, and Ryland Tinsley on the hill, his last start against the Jackrabbits went very well, getting the win on July 31st. Deals a first pitch strike to Gavin Grant, who was 0 for 3 against Tinsley with 1 strikeout back on the 31st. Tinsley in that game, 5 innings pitched, no runs allowed, and the victory for the Pittsburghers. Swing and a miss by Grant on the second pitch, and off speed from Tinsley. And what he's going to need to do is attack the strike zone, as on the season he has 19 strikeouts, 25 walks, more walks than strikeouts. All those extra base runners are not good for the pitcher. He deals a fastball high. Not a bad pitch on 0-2. See if he can get a chase upstairs. Grant lays off for the first ball. Looking to reach, just like Younger did to lead off the top half. 1-2, Tinsley fires, grounded to short. Traficante fields, bobbles it off his body, and the throw to first is not in time. Gavin Grant's going to reach base safely, to kick off the bottom of the first for Kokomo. That ball being ruled an error, E6 on Traficante. It hopped right on him. Got over his glove and off his chest. Had a good chance of getting Grant, but the bobble allows him to reach, and Grant stole a handful of bases yesterday, so got to be aware of him. As the first pitch to Toru Otsuka is just outside. Ball 1. Rich Flatus calling balls and strikes tonight. Was the first base umpire in last night's game, and the crew just rotates clockwise. Tinsley picking over. Grant getting back safely. No lefties pitched in the game yesterday for the Pittsbitters, so maybe having a lefty on the mound will be good for keeping Grant close. He deals outside to Otsuka now, so the count 2-0. Otsuka did not play last time on August 31st against Traverse City, as he was not yet on the team. He played the very next day on August 1st when Kokomo won it 5-3 and had a big 2 RBI single in his first game with the Jackrabbits this summer. So he's not faced Tinsley yet. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. The count 2-1 to Otsuka, the DH tonight. And he fouls one left side out of play. So the count evens at 2-2. Looking for a double play ball, though Otsuka, a good runner. So it would be a tough turn. If he hits it on the ground, it'd have to be smoked at an infielder to have a chance at 2. Leading the team in average at .438, though only playing 4 games. So small sample size. The 2-2 to Otsuka, line to short, over the head of Traff into left field. A base knock for Otsuka puts runners on first and second. There's nobody out here in the first inning. That's going to bring in Jacob Marcy. He is tonight's right fielder. Was 0 for 1 against Tinsley. Had 1 walk. Popped out on the infield. Reached in once in 2 at-bats. Swinging at the first pitch, way out in front of a breaking ball from Tinsley. Interesting to see Marcy not trying to bunt here, as the last couple games have been pretty low scoring. So runs tough to come by. A sacrifice bunt here would put runners on third and second with only 1 out. Doesn't look like that's the strategy. Marcy swinging away. Does show bunt. Gets it down, but foul. And that's a big break, as the count is 0-2, and Tinsley can get a huge strikeout here if he locates a good pitch. Marcy with speed as well, so had he gotten a bunt down, could have been a tough play to get him out. Don't have to worry about the bunt anymore. There's 2 strikes, 0-2. Tinsley looking to get out number 1 in the inning. Speed on the bases with Grant at second, Otsuka at first. Speed at the plate as well with Marcy. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed for out number 1. A perfect slider from Ryland Tinsley gets the first out of the inning. Just a perfect pitch there. I think Tinsley saw that on the first pitch that he threw. He had Marcy well out in front, so he figured, why not just throw that pitch again? And he did, and it worked to perfection. 1 away for Chris Santiago, back into the lineup for Kokomo tonight. Was not in the lineup yesterday. He's second on the team in hits, right behind Chase Mydroth, who was 0 for 4 yesterday and got out in a couple big spots. Santiago, a .275 hitter, was 1 for 5 on August 1st against Traverse City. Big swing and a miss for the first strike. He was 1 for 2 on July 31st against Tinsley. Had one single. Only time he reached in his first at-bat. On the day, though, he went 2 for 4. Tinsley gearing up for the 1-1. Fires. Santiago rips it. Faust, a leaping grab. Throw back to second. Almost doubled off Grant at second base. A terrific leaping grab by Christian Faust. It saves a run here in the first inning, and that's out number 2. That ball was headed to the left field corner. Easily, Grant would have scored. Otsuka very well may have been able to come around from first base. That is a huge play by the third baseman Faust. Taking extra bases away from Santiago, bringing in Dylan Dennis with 2 away. First pitch to him, just misses off the corner. Good-looking pitch from Tinsley. Dennis in 2 plate appearances against Ryland Tinsley on July 31st had 1 walk, no hits, 0 for 1 on the day. Chance here to come through, though. Breaking ball misses outside. Count 2-0. Now Tinsley has to work from behind in a hitter's count. Don't want to give Dennis anything too good. Dennis was 2 for 5 yesterday. Both clutch hits for Kokomo. Tried to check his swing and inadvertently made contact. Hits it up the right side and foul for the first strike. Trailing 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th, Dylan Dennis had an RBI single to tie it up at 3. Or tied it up at 2. They were down 2-1. Then after Miguel Useche put the Pittsburghers on top in the top of the 9th, Dennis in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs got an infield single to tie the game at 3. So 2 RBI hits his last 2 at-bats. Not a guy you want to face with runners in scoring position. 2-1 pitch is high and outside. It's 3-1. So Tinsley has to make a pitch here, or he's going to walk Dennis to load the bases. Dennis, though, did strike out twice yesterday, so he's vulnerable to good pitches. Tinsley's 3-1 is just high, and that will walk Dylan Dennis down to first base, and it will load the bases here in the first inning. 2 outs, though, and now there's a force out at any base. Tinsley just needs 1 more out, and in steps Luke Spillane. The left fielder was not in the lineup yesterday. Was 1 for 2 against Ryland Tinsley with a double last time he faced him. First pitch to him here is off the plate. That's where the walks come to kill Tinsley, is somehow the last time he pitched against Kokomo, he did walk a good amount of batters. Kokomo just couldn't produce runs. They had 4 walks. Couldn't bring in a runner, though. 1-0. Spillane to center should end the inning. Mayday goes back, gets under it, makes the grab. Ryland Tinsley loads the bases, but gets out of trouble thanks to a fantastic leaping grab by Christian Faust. Defense on high alert early on as we go to the second inning here on Pit Spitter Radio. Back here in the second inning at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, Michael Steigels, the designated hitter, will lead things off against Del Vecchio, who only needed just 6 pitches in the first. Didn't throw a single ball as every single batter swung at the first pitch. Everyone put the first pitch in play except Trey Younger. He fouled off the first pitch and then doubled down the right field line. That ball off the first base bag from Steigels, and the throw to first is not in time. It's wide of the bag. That was another ball headed for the right field corner, just like Trey Younger's in the first inning. But it hits the first base bag. Dennis almost made a fantastic play to barehand the ball off the bag and almost got Steigels at first, but he threw it wide of Del Vecchio covering, and Steigels is on to lead off the inning. And I'm interested to see how they rule this, if it's a hit or an error. They're going to give Steigels a hit. I think it's the right call. That was a very tough play for Dennis to make. Had to field the ball off the first base bag. And that brings in Miguel Useche. The catcher had a huge hit last night. First pitch swinging. Pops it up to shallow right field. Jacob Marcy will come on and make a running catch. Looks like the game plan for Traverse City is to be aggressive. I don't know how well that strategy is going to play here. Maybe they looked at last game and thought that they can get away with swinging at first pitch fastballs. Not really working so far, as it's just getting Del Vecchio quick outs. He hasn't had to throw a lot of pitches. Like I said, a 6-pitch first inning. Del Vecchio will take that all day if these guys are going to keep swinging at the first pitch. I think they have to work some counts as Cayman Traficante stands into the batter's box on the right side against the left-handed pitcher. He takes a pitch inside. The only pitches that have been taken so far, 2 by Steigels, 1 by Traficante. They've all been balls, so they've not taken a strike yet. Sometimes it can be a good strategy. If he's going to throw a fastball first pitch strike, then jump on it. Problem is that majority of the time so far, they're not producing hits. See what Traff can do. In his first at-bat, takes another ball, that one outside. Traficante had a good night last night. Had an RBI double in the 7th that at the time put his team on top 2-1. Kokomo would later tie it. But he had a big hit, had a couple big hits against Rockford 2 nights ago with the home run. Takes one outside again, so it's 3-0 to Traficante. Traff had 5 RBIs 2 nights ago with a home run and a pair of singles. He's been swinging the bat well lately. 3-0 count here, though. We'll see if he swings or he takes it the whole way. And he's just going to take a fastball at the top part of the zone for the first strike. Count goes to 3-1. Steigels on first. He has a good amount of stolen bases this season. Doesn't look like he's going to try to steal one here. The lefty on the hill. 3-1 deals. Traff to first. And it's caught by Dennis. And an interesting play there as the ball was caught by Dennis. Simultaneously, while he caught the ball off the bat of Traficante, he kept his foot on first base. So if Steigels wasn't back in time, it would have been a double play. A good try, but Steigels was on the bag when it was caught, so he's safe at first. There's 2 away for Christian Faust, the third baseman. Right at the bottom of the lineup, faced Del Vecchio twice. Had a walk. Steigels takes off. First pitch down low. Throw to second is not in time. Steigels in there with a stolen base. May have been aided by the pitch because Ben Lavorsi behind the plate had to pick the ball and then gather and throw. I think a good pitch. I think Steigels may have been out, but he is on second, and a base hit can give Traverse City the lead. 1-0 count to Faust, the pitch. Misses low and away. Count 2-0. He's got a hitter's count. Delvecchio checks the runner, deals inside, almost hit Christian Faust on the leg. Just barely misses him. So the count 3-0. Top of the order on deck with Trey Younger. Delvecchio set. Fires a 3-0 pitch right down the middle. Same exact pitch he did to Trafficante on 3-0. Just grooving a fastball. We'll see if that comes into play later, as maybe guys might start swinging at the 3-0 fastball if they're expecting it down the pipe. If he's grooving it in there, take a swing at it. Now 3-1. Fires. Faust. Big swing. Got a piece. Fouled it back to the screen, and that loads the count. We're full at 3-2. He was able to fight back from 3-0 to get out Camden Trafficante. Delvecchio battled back from 3-0 here. The count is full. Faust putting together a solid at bat. Can he end it with a big hit? The lefty ready. His payoff pitch is fouled out of play. Straight back over the press box into the parking lot. This pitch will be the 16th in the inning for Delvecchio. 10 more pitches than he threw in the first, despite facing an extra batter. A lot more patience here in the inning. Working the count. Another payoff to Faust. The lefty deals. Faust, chopper to third. Played by Santiago. His throw is on time to Dennis to end the inning. Now both sides have stranded runners in scoring position. Delvecchio has done it twice as we go to the bottom of the second here on Pittsburgh Radio. Bottom of the second inning here in Kokomo. The Pittsburghers in the first and the second have gotten a runner into scoring position, but have not been able to bring him across. So we're scoreless. Kokomo had their chance in the first as well, loading the bases with 2 outs, but Tinsley got out of trouble, and he'll face the bottom 3 in the lineup to start the second. Lefty-lefty matchup against Ben Lavorsi, the catcher. First pitch to him, a little inside for the first ball. Lavorsi was not in the lineup on the 31st, so he did not face Tinsley. First time these two are seeing each other. Lavorsi hits one hard, just past Camaletti. He was shifted towards first base, a little more towards the line, deep in the grass of the outfield. But still with all that, wasn't able to make the grab on the liner by Lavorsi, and he reaches with the leadoff single. Camaletti almost had that perfectly played, playing the pull side on the left-handed hitter. But the ball lands in, a leadoff single, brings in Camden Vazquez. These are the at-bats that Tinsley needs to win. There's 4 lefties in the starting lineup, and he needs to win those battles. Vazquez, one of them, didn't get a hit against Tinsley on the 31st. Pops one up here. It's going to go foul. Younger given a chase from left field. He's not going to get there in time. It's going to drop in off the wall for a foul ball, and the count goes to 1-1. The 4 lefties as well are back-to-back. 2 players back-to-back. The lineup is actually perfectly stacked if you think about it. A right-hander followed by 2 lefties, then 3 righties, 2 lefties, and end with a righty. It's perfectly symmetrical. Trying to throw Tinsley off. That pitch must have been a little high. Looked like a good pitch. Called ball 2. So a hitter's count for Camden Vazquez. That leadoff runner on base trying to move him around a little bit. Shoots one to left field. Younger going towards the line. He'll make a running catch just shy of the left field line for the first out. Off the bat, looked a little scary. It looked like it was going to bleed in for a hit. But Younger covers the ground, makes the catch. That brings in Adam Crampton. Top of the order is on deck. So this is a big at-bat. Last time that Tinsley faced the Jackrabbits, he got a lot of help from his defense as they turned 3 double plays in the 5 innings he was on the mound. This will be a big spot for one here. Crampton was 0 for 2 against Tinsley. First pitch swinging to the right side. Might be in play for Monroe. He's over, and it's just into the Pittsburgh bullpen over the fence. If the foul territory is extended just 3 more feet or so, Monroe would have had enough room to make the catch. But it dunks out of play for a foul ball, strike 1. Last couple games, the Jackrabbits, they stranded 2 runners in scoring position twice last night, and twice they stranded the bases loaded. That right there is 10 runners left on base in a 4-inning span. And then even looking at their game on July 31st, in the 5 innings against Ryland Tinsley, they stranded 5 runners on base, though there were more on base eliminated by double plays. 0-2 to Crampton is over the head of Monroe and fair into the right field corner. Holding at first with a single is Crampton. All the way to third is Lavorsi. And the Jackrabbits are on the doorstep of scoring first here in this game. That ball not really hit well at all. It just found its way over the head of Chris Monroe. A little jam shot by Crampton, but he just got enough power on it to get it over Monroe into right field. Had Monroe not been holding the runner on base, I think if he was playing his normal position at the back of the infield, he could make that catch. Instead, it's a single, Lavorsi to third, runners on the corners, 1 away for Gavin Grant at the top of the lineup. First pitch, Grant fouls it out of play. Kokomo in a fantastic scoring opportunity here. Grant is a good runner, so a ground ball isn't guaranteed to turn 2. Tinsley's going to need a strikeout here or a pop-up, shallow pick-off. Back in safely is Crampton. Lavorsi getting a few steps off the bag at third just in case the throw gets away. Or if there's any kind of bobble, it could bring in a run. Another pickoff over, and Crampton dives in safe. Trying to keep the double play in order here. Keep Crampton at first for Grant. Reached on an error in the first inning. 0-1 pitch. Just misses the zone there. Looked like a good pitch from Tinsley. Could have been high, maybe inside on the fastball. Watching it back, looked like it might have been inside. The 1-1 pitch from Tinsley, he deals. That ball on the outside corner. Beautiful pitch for the second strike. Third strike here would be huge to keep a run off the board, keep the runner at third, and get a big second out. Gonna need to make a really good pitch to Grant, who's a really good hitter. Crampton off of first. The 1-2 is shot back to Tinsley. The throw goes to second for one, and Traficante can't make the catch. All runners are safe, and Lavorsi is in to score. That's going to be the second error for Camden Traficante in this game. Both when Gavin Grant is the hitter. And that one costly as a run scores. Lavorsi was going to score no matter what. But instead of getting an out, maybe turning two, the Jackrabbits take the lead. Now they have to face Toru Otsuka with 2 runners on, 1 out. He singled his last time up. Tinsley, I think, if he did a little pump fake to second base, he had Lavorsi dead to rights, who immediately was breaking for home as soon as he pump faked, or as soon as he threw to second. That ball was right back at him. Had he done a little pump fake, I believe he could have got him out, but that's baseball. The count 2-0 to Otsuka with Jacob Marcy on deck. One of the best hitters on the team. His 2-0 pitch is slapped through the left side, a base hit. Waving in and coming home. The cutoff, Faust cuts it off. Traficante chasing the runner back to second. He's going to put a tag on him for the out, but a run does score. Crampton comes in on the single, and that's why that error is so big as Crampton scores. Another single for Otsuka. That second run is unearned. But the Jackrabbits double their lead here to 2. Hitter Jacob Marcy takes ball 1 up top. Struck out swinging in his first trip to the plate. The only strikeout for Tinsley through the lineup. Takes one low for ball 2. So the count is 2-0 with Otsuka on first. 2 away in the inning. The 2-0 pitch is driven hard to right field, but foul down the line. Got extended a little too soon on a pitch over the plate. Still a hitter's count, 2-1 to Jacob Marcy. Hits one up the middle. That ball's going to get to center field. Back-to-back base hits for the Jackrabbits. It's their 4th hit here in the inning. And they're just keeping the line moving. Errors costly once again. First and second, 2 outs for Chris Santiago. Lined out hard to Christian Faust at third his last time up. Had a ball that was going towards the corner. Once again, Tinsley in trouble with multiple runners on base. His 1-0 pitch to Santiago is called strike one, right across the knees, a fastball. Good news for Traverse City is they at least have the top of their order to start the third inning as they try to build a comeback. Down too early. Could be more after this inning. 1-1 to Santiago. Big swing and a miss. Well out in front of an off-speed pitch. He goes ahead in the count 1-2. Trying for a big strikeout to get out a really good hitter. His 1-2. Swung on and missed. Useche puts the tag on him. And that will end the inning. But the Jackrabbits take the lead. They scored 2 runs. They had 4 hits in the inning. Helped by an error by the Pittsbitters. So we're going to the third. Traverse City playing from behind in this game, trying to hunt for first place. Be back in a minute on Pittsbitter Radio. Top of the third and the top of the order will bat for Traverse City after Kokomo took a 2-0 lead, a pair of runs in the bottom of the second. Only one of them earned, as an error allowed both of those runs to score. We'll never know if it could have been an inning-ending double play. It had a chance. But instead it's 2-0, and Trey Younger, the batter, takes ball 1 in the dirt. Younger doubled down the right side in his first at-bat to start the inning. And Traverse City not able to capitalize. Those are the situations, if you can get a player into scoring position with nobody out, you should be able to score him, whether it's a sacrifice fly or hitting the ball to the right side to push him to third. Should be able to bring a run in. Liner to second. Long throw by Crampton gets Younger for the first out. Anytime there's a runner at second or third with nobody outs, got to be able to bring that run home. Got to play situational hitting and get that ball on the ground to the right side to push the runner to third with only 1 out, and then it's easy to score. In low-scoring games like these two teams have played the last couple of times, every run counts. And now Traverse City down 2 as Camaletti stands in, takes the first pitch ball inside. lined out sharply to the left fielder in his first time. Takes one low and outside now for a 2-0 count. Camaletti leads the league in walks. He has 52 of them on the season. Could add on here as the count is 3-0 to him. 4 more walks than the next closest batter. His on-base percentage, though, is 76 points higher than the next closest batter. And he's going to walk here and travel down to first base for the first time tonight. Walk number 53 for Mario on the season is going to extend his Northwoods League lead. And the Pittsburghers have a runner on for Tito Flores. Flores had a fantastic night at the Major League Dream Showcase, 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. In the game yesterday, had just 1 hit in 4 at-bats. It was a double down the left field line in the first inning. Little flare to short. That's going to be caught by Crampton. Another 1 pitch out as Traverse City continues to go after the first pitch in the at-bat. And so far, not really working out. Only 1 hit in the game. Well, 3 hits. Only 1, I would say, real hit, as Monroe was given a hit in the first inning, although I thought it would have been an error on the third baseman. I thought a good throw, and he's out. He was given a hit on the first pitch. Steigels was given a hit as well, but it hit the first base bag. So kind of got a little bit of help there. Only had 1 real hard hit ball swinging at the first pitch. Monroe swinging at the first pitch again. Comes up empty with a swinging strike. Two outs in the inning, so going to need to put together a couple good at-bats here to bring in a run. Pick off over and Camaletti gets back in safely. Monroe singled in the first. Wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Was in the lineup against El Vecchio on July 31st. So he hasn't seen him yet. But you have to think, facing a left-hander and Monroe's power bat, he should have the matchup advantage. One to him here, deals. Shoots it hard to the right side, but foul. A little late on that pitch. The count 1-2. Del Vecchio a strike away of getting out of the inning. Right fielder Marcy had to chase that ball down, toss it in the stands. Back in his position. Here's the 1-2 pitch with Camaletti on first. He deals. Monroe takes low. A good pitch from Del Vecchio trying to get a chase. But Monroe lays off. Two now. Del Vecchio deals. Camaletti runs. The pitch high. Throw down to second is in time to get him. And that takes the bat out of Monroe's hands with a runner on base. And we go to the bottom of the third inning, down 2-0 on Pittsburgh Radio. Welcome back to Kokomo Municipal Stadium, bottom of the third inning. Pitt Spitters went down in order in the third, had one walk, but was eliminated on a stolen base attempt, caught stealing. It's the Jackrabbits back up at the plate with the middle of their lineup. Dylan Dennis, the leadoff hitter, walked in his first at-bat against Tinsley. Tinsley back on the hill after giving up 2 runs in the second inning. Only one of those runs were earned. As Traverse City playing from behind here in this game. 1-1 pitch, deals it. Dennis bunts, and it's a perfect bunt. No chance to get him at first base. Safe at first on a perfect bunt down the third baseline. And that's a leadoff base runner for Kokomo. Luke Spillane will hit now. He flew out to center field with the bases loaded in the first, as Tinsley was able to keep Kokomo off the scoreboard for the time being. Spillane had a double against Ryland Tinsley in the 5th inning on July 31st last week. Hits one deep to left center. Younger going back at the wall, and that ball is off the top of the wall. Relay throw in. They're going to hold Dennis at third. It is a double for Spillane. Runners on third and second, and there's nobody out here in the third. Pitching coach Rocky Moriello is going to come out and talk with his starting pitcher. In trouble once again. Take a near miracle to get out of this inning without allowing a run. Third and second, nobody out. It's not impossible. It's just highly unlikely. All Kokomo needs is a ground ball to score a run. Already saw with the bunt from Dennis that these hitters are willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. So I'm sure Ben Lavorsi won't mind just hitting one on the ground here to score the third run. He had a single in his last at-bat to start off the second inning rally. Came around to score the first run of the game on a comebacker to Tinsley from Gavin Grant. Singled into right field just past Camaletti, who's playing him in a shift more towards the right side, deeper into the outfield grass. Play the pole side of Lavorsi, who takes a first pitch strike on a high slider in the zone. Bailed him out there as he was well behind in the count. On his way to striking him out. Hits him with the pitch. Bases are loaded. Josh Reban is out of the dugout. Looks like a pitching change here. The left-hander William Mabry is going to take over for Ryland Tinsley with no outs and the bases. And we'll be back in a minute here on Pittsburgh Radio. Welcome back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. William Mabry, the new pitcher, with the bases loaded. Nobody out in the inning. The worst possible position to enter in as a pitcher out of the bullpen. The lefty from the University of Tennessee, in his last game of the summer, a bleeder into left field, is going to score 2 from Camden Vasquez. And the Jackrabbits double the lead from 2-4 on one swing of the bat. Just lucky hits for Kokomo. Had a couple of those so far. It's a good pitch from Mabry to the lefty. Got jammed on it and just gets it over third base into left field. Tough for a pitcher when you know you hit your spot and somehow the batter is able to just flick it into the outfield like that. Both those runs charged to Tinsley, who wasn't able to make it out of the third, didn't even record an out here in the 3rd inning. Loaded the bases before being taken out as Tinsley deals low to Adam Crampton. Count is 2-0. Crampton had another one of those just lucky type of hits, just a little blooper into right field. Another jam shot that found its way into some grass. Now 3-0. Traverse City better start getting some outs, or this game could be over here in the 3rd inning. Mabry ready for the 3-0. Throws a strike to make it 3-1. Still has to throw a couple good pitches here. Crampton fouls one out of play, so the count will go full. Three-two pitch is inside. Crampton is going to walk to first base. Bases once again are loaded. All 5 batters here in the inning have reached base safely. 3 of them have hits. 1 was hit by a pitch. 1 walk. Back to the top of the order for Gavin Grant. First pitch to him is shot to the right side. Camaletti's only play is to first. He will get Grant, but another run will score on an RBI ground out. First out of the inning recorded, as the Jackrabbits now have 5 runs across for another good hitter, Toru Otsuka. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, both over opposite way to left field. First pitch to him, here's a strike, a slider from Mabry. Different game plans between these two teams. Traverse City, their approach is attack early in the count. Kokomo, though, was taking pitches and working at bats, and it's paid off for them so far, as they have 8 hits already here in the first 3 innings. Count to Otsuka 0-2 as Mabry threw a fastball in the outside corner. Infield comes in with only 1 out, which might benefit Otsuka, who likes to go the opposite way. Has a couple shots over the head of short. Hits one on the ground, and the infield in does work. as a chopper that would have been a routine play for the infield in a normal position chops over the head of the shortstop, Traficante. 2 runs come across. Might be still a little too early to call this game over, but it's 7-0 in the 3rd inning. Kokomo right now just can't be stopped. Still 6 innings left to play, but the way that this thing's going so far, Traverse City needs a drastic change, especially on offense. Need to get stuff done at the plate. Kokomo, their approach has been working very well for them. They're not trying to do too much. Just putting the ball in play. Not trying to hit anything. Not like they're swinging for the fences. Just simple swings, and they're producing hits. 1-1 count to Jacob Marcy. He's 1 for 2. Struck out his first at-bat. Singled up the middle his last time up. One pitch is hit through the left side. Another base hit. Again, just simple swings for Kokomo. And they're working. Just a little inside-out swing there from Marcy. Just shoots it the other way for a base hit. Puts runners on first and second, still with 1 out for Chris Santiago. He is 0 for 2. 10 hits already for the Jackrabbits. That pitch down low from Mabry. This is his last appearance on the summer. He's headed home to Tennessee tomorrow. Pitch downstairs, blocked though by Useche. Keeps it in front. 2-0 the count. So all 3 runs that Tinsley put on base have come in to score. Mabry has allowed 2 runs already. Three the count to Santiago. Deals the first strike right across the knees. O'Kelly McWilliams warming up in the bullpen, ready to come into the game. Mabry's 3-1. Santiago pops up on the infield. Infield fly is called. Camaletti at second will make the catch for out number 2. And that brings in Dylan Dennis, who started the inning with a single. Kokomo has batted all the way around. Have the leadoff batter back at the plate. Was the first of 5 consecutive batters to reach. All 5 of those batters have scored. Mabry just needs 1 out to end the inning. First pitch, low and inside, fastball. Ball 1. Dennis started this inning with a bunt single. And it just snowballed from there. Takes a pitch low. The count 2-0. Already 23 pitches thrown by Will Mabry. Long inning for the pitch bitters as he misses inside in the count 3-0. Luke Spillane on deck. He doubled off the wall his last time up. And he'll get to bat with the bases loaded as Dennis walks to first. That brings Josh Reban out of the dugout. Could be another pitching change. And I do believe he's going to make another move. William Mabry will leave the bases loaded. He got 2 outs, allowed 2 runs to score. All 3 runners on are of his doing. Not the way I'm sure he wanted to end his summer, but that's baseball. O'Kelly McWilliams is into the game, bases loaded, 2 outs, down 7-0. Be back in a second here on Pitts Bitter Radio. Back in the bottom of the third, bases loaded, 2 outs for O'Kelly McWilliams IV. The second pitcher this inning for Traverse City to enter with the bases loaded. Will Mabry entered with them loaded and no outs. O'Kelly, though, enters with 2 outs. So he only has to get 1 out to end things. Luke Spillane is the hitter. He doubled off the left center field wall earlier in this inning. First pitch from O'Kelly is a called strike 1. Perfect pitch on the black, right on the outside corner. Dylan Delvecchio is throwing in the Kokomo bullpen because this inning has gone on so long. He's trying to stay warm. Breaking ball for McWilliams, a perfect pitch. His curveball has so much break on it. Be interested to see the spin rate numbers on that pitch. Has a lot of movement. Big 12-6 curve. In for a strike. Count 0-2. McWilliams fires another curveball just off the plate outside. So the count to 1-2, though he's still well ahead in the count here. Trying to just end this inning. So 1-2 is another curveball in the dirt, blocked by Useche. That's 3 in a row now. Last 2 for balls as the count evens up at 2-2. See if he can make a pitch here. Fastball chopped to third, but foul. Well, Faust made the throw across the diamond anyway, right on time to Chris Monroe. Sure, Faust wouldn't have minded that ball been fair. This inning would be over. Instead, we'll see at least one more pitch from McWilliams as the count stays even. Another 2-2, and that one hits Spillane. That's going to force in a run. Second hit batter this inning. It's a painful way to pick up an RBI if you're Spillane. Score now 8-0. Six runs already across here. The Jackrabbits have 5 hits, 2 walks, and 2 hit by pitches here in the inning. Bases still loaded for Ben Lavorsi, the catcher, his 3rd at-bat. 2nd in the inning here. Takes a fastball on the outside corner. Ben Lavorsi was the last pitcher, or last batter that faced Ryland Tinsley. He was hit by a pitch to load the bases, and that was it for Tinsley's night. Time called at the plate before the 1-0 pitch by Lavorsi, the catcher. Just need one more out to end the inning. McWilliams 1-0. Fouled off the right side by Lavorsi on the ground. Count even at 1-1. One count to the catcher, Ben Lavorsi, with the bases loaded. 2 outs in the inning. Already 6 runs across. Pitch outside. Count to 2-1. Two-one pitch coming to Lavorsi. 43 pitches total have been thrown in this inning. 9 from Tinsley, 25 from Mabry, 9 for McWilliams. Here's his 1-2. Inside blocked by Useche. I guess the count was 1-2. I guess they changed it at the plate. Thought the umpire said 2-1. It was 1-2. So now it's 2-2 as that ball was blocked in the dirt. Here's pitch 45 of the inning. Just low. And the count goes full. Thought O'Kelly had the strikeout pitch there. See where this pitch was. Might have been a hair low, but that's usually a strike call that pitchers get. As the count is full to Lavorsi, runners will be moving. McWilliams fires. Ball 4, and another run will score. Which means here in Kokomo, they're going to play the stupid horn of theirs. When a run comes in to score, they play a horn like it's hockey when they score a goal. It's a tough thing to hear. We've already heard it 7 times in the inning, as the bases are still loaded with 2 outs. We're going to get to a 50-pitch inning here, I think, as Cannon Vazquez is in. Big swing and a miss. The count's 0-2. Well, Vazquez came through with a 2 RBI single in his first at-bat of the inning. That was against William Mabry. This pitch is 49 of the inning. And it gets Vazquez swinging. Finally, the inning is over. Kokomo scores 7 runs in the inning. All 7 of those runs earned on 5 hits, 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and they're on top 9-0 after 3. Let's go to the 4th inning here on Pit Spitter Radio. Back here in the top of the 4th inning, the score is 9-0 in favor of Kokomo. 7 runs came across in the bottom of the 3rd, as Chris Monroe will lead off the inning here for the Pit Spitters. He was at the plate last inning when Mario Camaletti was thrown out trying to steal second, so he will start the inning at the plate. Takes one outside for a 1-1 count. It's another game that Traverse City, when it seems like they have some momentum, it starts to slip away. They won 6-0 on July 31st as Monroe hits it to third base, fielded by Santiago, and there's one away. They won 6-0 on July 31st. got out to a 3-0 lead. The next game would lose 5-3 as Kokomo scored 5 unanswered. Even back after they lost in pretty bad fashion, they lost 5-2 at home on July 22nd. At 1 point in the game, as Mayday shoots it to second base, right to Gavin Grant, and there's 2 away. At 1 point in the ball game, Traverse City was down 9-5 to Kokomo. They scored 3-0. They scored 3 runs in the first on July 23rd to go up 3-0. Kokomo had a 6-run second, and then a 3-run fifth. They went up 9-5. But Traverse City came all the way back, tied the game. They had the go-ahead run in the 8th inning on third base with 1 out. They didn't score him. They had the winning run on second base in scoring position in the bottom of the 9th. They didn't score him. They had the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th, and they didn't score him. They're not able to capitalize on the momentum that they take against Kokomo. Even last night, they win a thrilling game in extra innings, and they come up the next day and they just come out flat. They go down 9-0 in the first 3 frames. Has them in a huge hole that will be tough to climb out of. It's not impossible. Traverse City has shown a lot of capability this season to come back in ball games. And their offense has been really good, exploding for runs like crazy. I mean, just a couple days ago against Rockford, they scored 22. Gonna need something like that here tonight. Gonna need the offense. Just 1 inning. They need just 1 big inning to feel like they can come back in this game. Need to score 3 or 4 runs, even more. At least 3. If they can get a 3-run inning, that could feel like a push towards something great. I mean, against Rockford, they scored 6 runs, 4 runs, and 5 runs twice in an inning. So a comeback is possible. They're just going to have to put together some at-bats. Steigels walked to first for Miguel Useche, so there's a runner aboard, but there's 2 outs in the inning. First 2 batters grounded out against El Vecchio, a guy they scored 6 runs off of last time on 7 hits, 4 walks. Not the case tonight. Only 3 hits so far, although I think there's only 2 really actual hits. I still think Santiago at third made a throwing error earlier in the game. So you could say 3 or 2 hits for Traverse City. They've only had 3 walks. Actually, 2 walks in the game. Limited base runners as Miguel Useche swings and misses at that pitch. They've had 5 base runners so far through the first 4 innings. You compare that to Kokomo. They had the first 5 batters reach in the 3rd. The same amount of batters Traverse City's had on base all game long. That's how many reached consecutively for Kokomo. 0-2 to Useche, grounded left side. That ball through for a base hit. That is what it's going to take to come back in this game. Just get some singles through some holes. A comeback will start to build. Brings in Camden Traficante with 2 on and 2 outs. Takes a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Especially when you consider Trey Younger led off the game with a double and didn't score. That's a situation you have to convert. Lead off extra base hit. Got to find a way to bring that guy home. going up on top puts a lot of pressure on the other team. As one comes into Trafficante, the count to him is 2-1. He popped out to the first baseman his last time up. Trying to convert here with 2 on. The 2-1 pitch is outside. The count to 3-1. Christian Faust is on deck. The pitcher and catcher combo of Lavorsi and DeVecchio are going to have a conversation on the mound before this 3-2 or 3-1. Could be just a discussion about the signs. Make sure they're not getting crossed up with multiple runners on base. Third inning that Traverse City's had a runner in scoring position and a runner on second in the first and second innings. Runner on first and second here in the fourth. Just like in the first and second, 2 outs. 3-1 to third is fair. Santiago fields. Long throw is going to be in time to get Trafficante, and that's going to end the inning. And that sends this game to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 9-0 Kokomo here on Pittsburgh Radio. Welcome back to Kokomo for the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch, Crampton up the middle, fielded by Camaletti. His throw is just in time to get Crampton and keep him off base to start the inning. 4 scoreless thrown by Dylan DelVecchio, a vast improvement after allowing 6 runs to score in his last appearance against Traverse City. As the top of the order back around, here's Gavin Grant. Had an RBI ground out in the third inning. Was one of 5 players with an RBI in the third. Takes back-to-back high fastballs from McWilliams. No one else in the bullpen for Traverse City, so this could be an extended outing. Now 3-0 to Grant as O'Kelly McWilliams misses downstairs with the pitch. And it's looking like Traverse City will go back down 2 games in the standings as Grant walks to first. They had a chance to win this game, and if they win today, they would take over first place in the Great Lakes East. They would tie Kokomo record-wise, but they would hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. Instead, a loss here would split the season series right down the middle, 6-6. And it would keep Kokomo 2 games ahead of the Pittsbitters with 8 games left to play on the season. Although the schedule for Traverse City is a little bit easier, still being up against the Jackrabbits with 8 to play would be a lot better than being 2 back. Especially because if at the end of the season, if these 2 teams are tied record-wise, I don't know how the tiebreaker goes. So Kokomo could very well hold the tiebreaker over Traverse City, which means they couldn't be tied. They have to be 1 game ahead. A win here means they could have been tied at the end of the season, and the Pittsbitters would have the tiebreaker to win the first half or win the overall season title. As the count goes 3-1 to Tora Otsuka, who is 3 for 3 in the game, 3 RBIs, all singles, all to the left side of the field. An opposite field specialist. Swinging on that pitch, fouls it out of play. I guess that was a 3-1 pitch. Scoreboard operator must have missed a strike. So it's 3-2 to Otsuka, full count. O'Kelly's pitch, outside, back-to-back walks issued in the inning. It's just a flat game so far for the Pittsbitters. Kokomo, they came ready to play and defend their first place position in the standings. And it's showing as they're giving it to Traverse City through the first 4 innings. And that brings in Jacob Marcy, who has singles in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 3. First pitch to him from O'Kelly McWilliams is a high fastball, ball 1. And Josh Reban is out of the dugout. I don't think it's a pitching change because there's no one throwing in the bullpen. I think he's just going to talk to his guy. There is an arm getting ready. Can't tell who it is. I think it's one of the new additions, Nolan Belshner. He's stretching, trying to get loose. Conversation concludes on the mound between Rebant and McWilliams. The schedule does get easier for Traverse City, though, after this game, as they've played Kokomo 6 times in the last 2 weeks. But after this game, they play Rockford 4 games in a row. As Marcy shoots one to left center, his 3rd hit of the game. 1 run's going to score. Otsuka going to 3rd, and he's in there in plenty of time. That's a bad throw out there in the outfield. Otsuka way too fast to try and throw out. And that sends Marcy to second base. as he followed that throw going to third, and he took second. So that puts runners on third and second with only one out. Double digits for the Jackrabbits now. 10-0 the score. Chris Santiago, the hitter now. One of just, actually the only batter that has not reached base in the game. The other 8 players on Kokomo's lineup, they've all reached base. Santiago, the only player not to reach base. He's also only one of 2 players not to have a hit. And it's the 4th inning. Fouls one off here. So the count's 0-2. The scheduling though is going to favor Traverse City down the stretch, so they still have a chance. As Santiago shoots one through the right side, that's going to bring in 2 more runs. It would have been a routine out at second base, but they had a shift on that had Camaletti playing up the middle, so there was nobody there to make a play. 2 more runs score, and the Jackrabbits have put up an even dozen. Now, every single Jackrabbit batter has reached base. Only the 4th inning, and every single player has been on base. And in for his 4th at-bat is Dylan Dennis. He's been on base all 3 times. A single and 2 walks. Reached base twice in the 3rd inning. He's actually one of 3 players to reach base twice in the 3rd. Fouls one straight back. The count to him goes 0-2. McWilliams looking for a big strikeout. Breaking ball hit to right field, and that ball as well is going to drop in for a hit. Just one of those games where everything that Kokomo is putting in play is just getting down. Nothing you can do about it. They're just swinging the bats. They're hot at the plate. It's their 13th hit of the game. Two on, 1 out for Luke Spillane. Takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1. Spillane is 1 for 2 with a flyout and a double. Was also hit by a pitch his last time up. Takes a pitch high for the first ball. One they count to him, the left fielder for Kokomo. Takes a fastball on the outside corner for the second strike of the inning. Ever since the first inning, Kokomo just turned it up. They turned it up a notch. And they've just been hitting every pitch in the zone. Check swing not going. Useche scoops it off the dirt. Count evens at 2-2. trying to end a streak of 5 consecutive batters to reach base. McWilliams 2-2 pitch. Misses outside, so the count goes full. McWilliams got a ground out to start the inning, though Crampton, the call at first was so close. He really could have been safe. That could have been a start of 6 straight to reach the inning. So ground ball out to start, but then 5 straight have reached since. And his 3-2 got Spillane swinging. Kind of chopped at that pitch. Didn't seem like he was expecting a fastball there. And there's out number 2. Just a look at the innings. Kokomo sent 6 batters up in the first, 7 in the second. They sent 13 up in the third. And here's the 8th batter in the fourth. They just keep sending multiple batters up every single inning. As Ben Lavorsi will hit here. Takes one inside, gets away from Useche, goes to the backstop. The runners will advance a base. A wild pitch from McWilliams. Lavorsi in the game, 2 for 2. Actually, 1 for 1. A single, a hit by pitch, and a walk. He has 1 RBI, 2 runs scored. McWilliams set for the 1-0. He deals. Lavorsi pops it up, should end the inning to center field. Mayday under it. He makes the catch. And we go to the 5th. Traverse City down 12-0 here at Kokomo on Pittsburgh Radio. Back here in Kokomo for the top of the 5th inning. Traverse City down 12-0. Christian Faust will lead off against Dylan Del Vecchio. Grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Takes a first pitch, ball low to start the 5th. Hits one on the ground to third. Santiago fields. Throws to first, and there's one away. Another first pitch out for Traverse City. Del Vecchio has had absolutely no problem running through this lineup so far. His pitch count is very low. He could pitch deep into this game at this rate. There was a first pitch strike to Trey Younger. Younger 1 for 2 with a double. Takes one load, make it 1-1. Doubled to lead off the game. Didn't score, was stranded at third in the first. Ball on the ground to short. Crampton fields, throws, picked by Dennis at first for out number 2. Just a polar opposite type of gameplay. Everything Kokomo is putting in play is just finding holes, getting down into the outfield, and everything Traverse City is hitting is just right at a defender. They just can't catch a break. They've hit some balls well, just directly at a defender waiting. Another example, Camaletti hard hit right at the first baseman, Dennis. Flip to first, and there's a 1-2-3 inning for Kokomo. 5 scoreless from Del Vecchio. We go to the bottom of the 5th here on Pitts Bitter Radio. Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Another new pitcher for the Pitts Bitters, Nolan Belshner, will make another appearance on the season. First pitch he throws to Kenny Vasquez is fouled off. So Kokomo will finish their season with the last 4 games the exact same as Traverse City, but they'll play Lakeshore for 2 games and Kenosha for 2 games. All those games at home. And then they will end the season on the road. 2 games against Battle Creek, 2 against Kalamazoo. That's where The benefit of the schedule goes to Traverse City because they have 4 consecutive games against Rockford, who they are 7-1 against on the season. And then they will play Kalamazoo, and then they'll play Battle Creek to end their season. That game against Kalamazoo, both those are at home, Battle Creek on the road, but Traverse City has owned Battle Creek as well, just like Rockford, as Vasquez hits it to second, Camaletti throws to first, 1 away. There's 2 opponents that Traverse City has dominated this year. Those 2 teams are Rockford and Battle Creek. They are 7-1 against Rockford, and they are, I believe, 9-1. Yes, 9-1 against Battle Creek. Only 1 loss this season against the Bombers in 10 games. And that came on the road the very first time they faced Battle Creek as Crampton hits one to right. Flores under it. He'll make the catch. 2 outs here in the inning. That was back in the first half of the season when Traverse City literally could not win the first game of a road series. They lost every single first game of a road series. It wasn't until they played Kalamazoo, the final series of the first half, that they got their first win in the series opener. So you take away that game, they're undefeated against the Bombers, as they have since found out how to win the first game of a set. They did it here against Kokomo last time, too. They lost game 1, and then they swept the doubleheader, and then lost game 4 here in Kokomo back in the middle of June. They have since figured it out. They have found out how to win the first game of a road set. And it has propelled them to a better record in the standings. No longer losing that first game so they don't keep falling behind. And they have to keep fighting to protect against a sweep. That is the one thing, though. They had not lost the second game of road series. So take what you will as Grant shoots one to right field for a base hit. Just knew there was no way that the Jackrabbits weren't going to get a base runner in an inning. They weren't going to allow Traverse City to have a 1-2-3 frame. They get a 2-out base hit here to keep things going in the 5th. So the one thing about the Pittsburghers in the first half, when they were on the road, they would lose game 1. They would always win game 2. They were never swept on the road in the first half. They did get swept in the second half on the road, but in the first half, up until literally the final series of the first half, 34 games in the first half. Of all the road games, they never won the first game. They never lost the second game on a road series. It was just a weird thing, just a weird quirk about this team. They've since changed that, and they have a couple sweeps on the road now as Toru Otsuka bats. They just cannot keep this guy off base. He has 3 hits and 3 at-bats. His most recent trip was a walk. He's one of 2 hitters, along with Gavin Grant, who have had a plate appearance in every single inning so far. 1 at-bat in each inning of the game. The 1-1 up the middle. Traficante can't grab it. Toru Otsuka is 4 for 4. 4 singles, a walk, and 3 RBIs. This guy very well could be looking at a Northwoods League Player of the Night. Brings in another guy who has multiple hits, Jacob Marcy, who is 3 for 4, my apologies. Struck out his first at-bat. 3 singles since then with an RBI. Just like Grant and Otsuka, he is now batting in every single inning. Takes a breaking ball, I guess outside for ball one. Belshner pitched one scoreless inning against Rockford on their 22-12 victory day. Gave up one hit but no runs. Trying to keep a run off the board here. Jackrabbits have scored every inning since the first, 2 in the second, 7 in the third, 3 in the fourth. And Marcy, who has 3 consecutive hits, could deliver another RBI knock here. Down the line, foul on the right side. That ball was smoked. Marcy just a little early on it for a foul ball. There's the first strike as the count now 2-1. The playoff series between Traverse City and Kokomo is going to be very interesting. Now, I'm not saying the Kokomo hasn't locked up the second playoff spot yet, but that's definitely the way it's trending. It is looking like that will be the case, as currently in the second half standings, Kenosha is 3 games back. They're losing 3-0 to Kalamazoo, so if both those scores stand, Kenosha will fall to 4 games back with 8 games to play. That is really tough to come back from. They can help themselves a little because they play the Jackrabbits for 2 games starting Monday, but that would only gain 2 games, so realistically, they would need Kokomo to be swept by one of their remaining 3 opponents. And the way this team is playing, that is a tall task. 2-2 pitch coming to Marcy from Belshner. Deals, breaking ball, just off the outside corner. Belshner was walking off the mound, thought it was strike 3. May have been outside. It was close. Of course, my vantage point in the press box, I can't tell the height of the pitch. I can tell if it's on or off the plate. That pitch could have gone either way. Called a ball, so it's a full count. Belshner's 3-2 is also taken for a ball. Another close pitch, but Marcy walks and the bases are loaded. So now, with the bases loaded for Kokomo, they've also had the bases loaded now in 3 of 5 innings in the game. Is that right? 4 of 5 innings. They loaded the bases in the first, the third, the fourth, now the fifth. 4 of 5 innings they've loaded the bases. That is not a recipe for success if you're Traverse City. Chris Santiago, the batter, takes the first pitch, ball high. He's now the 4th batter for the Jackrabbits to make a plate appearance in all 5 innings. He's 1 for 4, finally picked up a hit in his last at-bat to give every single Jackrabbit, make sure they all got on base. Also should mention with Gavin Grant's hit with 2 outs in this inning, all Jackrabbits now have a base hit. All 9 in the starting lineup have at least 1 hit in the game. Is 1-1, is outside and low. Santiago takes, gives him a 2-1 count. With the bases loaded, 2 away, a little 2-out rally here for the Jackrabbits. A single from Grant sparked it. Then a single to Otsuka, a walk to Marcy. Big hack there by Santiago. Comes up empty. And the count even at 2-2. Looking at the hits leaderboard now, Chris Santiago is tied for first on the Jackrabbits with 53 hits. Fouls one off himself here. The at-bat will continue. Jacob Marcy with 3 hits today. He gets himself in second on the team with 52 hits. You also got Dylan Dennis with 2, so he's at 49 now. Gavin Grant only has 1. He's still a couple behind at 46. Big offensive night. Has a couple guys over 50 hits now. 2-2 from Belshner. Santiago to short. Caught by Traficante. And the inning is over. Kokomo with 2 outs. Loaded the bases. But are kept off the scoreboard as we go to the 6th inning here on Pit Spitter Radio. Here in the 6th inning, 12-0 in favor of the Jackrabbits. They have 15 hits in the game. And somehow, this game could be a lot worse for Traverse City, as that first pitch is popped up on the infield, caught by the shortstop Adam Crampton. Another 1 pitch out for Dylan Delvecchio. His pitch count, not a problem. He can just continue pitching for, realistically, the way he's going, he could pitch a whole 9 innings at this rate. Keeping that pitch count low as the Pittsburghers just keep going after the first pitch and keep hitting into outs. Chris Monroe, the batter, takes one outside for ball 1. He's 1 for 2, single in the first. Takes one outside again. Kokomo has 12 runs. They could really have 20 runs in the game, as they have stranded 13 runners on base so far. 3 times they've left the bases loaded, as Monroe pops one up on the infield. Marcy over and right, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. That's a big difference I'm seeing so far in this game is Kokomo is not hitting many balls in the air. They're hitting a lot of balls on the ground and just line drives that are finding holes. Not like Traverse City's not hitting ground balls, but they're just hitting more balls in the air than Kokomo. And they're getting caught. Well, they do have a good amount of ground outs. But like I said, they're just hitting balls right to defenders. It's tough. Mayday to the left side. That ball's through. So Evan Mayday will single with 2 outs. Just like the last inning, Traverse City gets a 2-out base runner. But at that point, it's deep enough in the inning, it's tough to score the runner. Actually, last inning was 1-2-3, my mistake. That's the 4th inning. They had a 2-out base runner. Michael Steigels is the batter. Takes a first pitch ball just off the plate. Fastball fired from Del Vecchio, who is working in a 6-inning shutout here. A vast improvement from the last time these two teams met when Del Vecchio pitched. Steigels to right. Marcy over. That ball's going to drop. Steigels going for 2. No, he's going to hold up and stay at first. Back-to-back singles as Mayday goes to third. Could get the Pittsburghers on the board. At this point, down 12-0. Still a chance to come back. You can never count out a comeback. But as this game drifts on further and further, those chances get slimmer and slimmer. If the Pittsburghers don't score here, it'd be really tough to come back in this game. Scored 12 runs in the last 3 innings. I think you got to at least score 1 here to give your team a confidence boost and let them know that you are able to score. Steigels takes off on the first pitch. Useche swings and misses. There's no throw down to second, so Steigels just takes the bag. Now a base hit can bring in 2 runs. Can cut this game to just a 10-run deficit. Del Vecchio deals. Ball low to Seche. So the count evens at 1-1. Pittsburghers now have 6 hits. See if they can produce a run here with this opportunity. 1-1 pitch. Del Vecchio deals. Fastball down low to Seche. Gives him a hitter's count now at 2-1. Trying to drive in a pair. The pitch to Useche is popped up right side. Marcy coming on from right field. Up against the wall. Almost made a fantastic catch. Runs into the wall. But he's okay. Almost made a fantastic running grab that would have ended the inning. Instead, it falls. The count is 2-2 to Mickey. With runners on third and second, 2 outs here in the 6th. Here's the 2-2 from Useche. Swings and misses on a high fastball from Del Vecchio. And again, the Pittsburghers, for the 3rd time tonight, leave runners. Actually, the 4th time tonight, they leave runners in scoring position and stay off the board. So we go to the bottom of the 6th here on Pittsburgh Radio. Bottom of the 6th inning here in Kokomo. For the first time since the first, the Jackrabbits were held off the board in the 5th and are back to work in the 6th. Nolan Belshner, still the pitcher, deals ball 1 high. But the Jackrabbits have sent still at least 6 batters to the plate in every inning. They've loaded the bases now in the 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. The only inning they didn't load the bases was the 2nd, when they had runners on the corners, and then they scored 2 runs. There's a strike from Belshner to make it 1-2. This is that type of loss that might actually be good for Traverse City. Kind of just a little check, little ego check, maybe a reality check type of loss where now they know Kokomo can hand them a beating. They know Kokomo's a really good team, so when these two teams meet in the postseason, they know they cannot come out flat. They can't take this team lightly. And it's kind of a situation where you don't play down to the level of your opponents. That's going to be big these next 8 games for the Pittsburghers because they are a better team than the next 4 teams they'll play. What they're going to have to do in all 8 of these next games, they have to enter them thinking with the mentality that is a postseason team across from them. They can't come out flat. They have to win realistically. I would say they have to win 7 of those 8 games if they want to win the first, or they want to win the overall Great Lakes East title. Line to second, fielded by Camaletti on to first. There's out number 1. It's 3 straight innings now that the first out came to Camaletti. The leadoff batter in the last 3 innings has grounded out to Mario. Actually, the first out in the last 4 innings. The leadoff hitter grounded out to Camaletti in the last 3 innings, but going back to the 3rd, after 5 straight batters reached, the first out came to Mario on a ground ball. Another ground ball, this one to short. Traficante fields, fires just in time to nail Spillane at first. Two quick outs by Belshner. Just like in the 5th, he got 2 quick outs, but then the Jackrabbits loaded the bases on back-to-back singles and then a walk. Let's see if for the first time tonight, a Pittsburgher pitcher can get a 1-2-3 inning. First pitch to Lavorsi, line to right center, and of course it drops in for a hit. Too good to be true. Same story as last inning. 2 quick outs and then a single. Extends the inning here in the 6th. Another left-handed batter, Camden Vasquez. 1 for 4 in the game. Jackrabbits are just getting production from all over their lineup. It's not just the top or just the bottom. It's consistent throughout now. The first 4 hitters in their lineup doing more of the heavy lifting, which is what you would expect from the top of your order. Top of their lineup, first 4 batters have 9 hits. The bottom 4 batters have 5. The bottom 5 batters have 7. So a little more in favor of the top 4 as a pitch gets away from Useche. A wild pitch that moves the runner to second. I don't even think Traverse City's pitching in this game was bad. Kokomo's just been hitting everything. They've been tough to get out all game long. They're just putting the bat on the ball, and they're finding holes in the outfield. Just hitting ground balls, hard grounders, and line drives, and it's been successful. As Vasquez swings and chops one off his foot for the first strike, it's 1-1. Belshner trying to get out of the inning. Trying to keep a run off the board. Is 1-1 to Vasquez. Low for ball 2. Hasn't allowed a run yet in his very short, limited stint with Traverse City. Only his second game. The third inning on his season from Olivet Nazarene, NAIA school. That ball a strike at the top of the zone to Vasquez, a fastball. And the count evens at 2-2. Hasn't had a strikeout, though. Has had every ball put in play for an out. See if he can get one here on 2-2. Deals to Vasquez, and he'll foul it off and stay alive. Didn't have a strikeout in his inning pitch against Rockford either. Had a decent amount of strikeouts at Olivet his last season there. That ball lined to right. It's going to drop for a hit. Flores comes up firing, cut off by Monroe. The runner at third will hold up. Back-to-back 2-out hits. This is deja vu to the 5th inning, when Belshner got the first 2 outs, and then the next 2 batters singled. It's the same story, different inning. One of those guys, though, he got out in the 5th is at the plate here. It's Adam Crampton. He got him to fly out to Flores in right field his last time up. First pitch to Crampton is high for ball 1. Crampton, the 9-hole hitters, 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Has scored both times he's been on base. Swing and a miss at a ball down low and off speed from Belshner. Count at 1-1 now. (12-0) the lead here in the 6th. As Crampton shoots one to right, it's going to drop in front of Flores. Another run scored, another hit for the Jackrabbits. Hit number 18 in the game for Kokomo. This is going to be good, I think, in the long run for Traverse City. It's a little gut check. Can't take any game lightly, especially in a game like tonight. There's battling for first place in their division. They're going to need to come out strong against every remaining opponent. Can't play games like this in the playoffs, that's for sure. Fastball in the corner, called a strike to Gavin Grant, who in his 6th plate appearance of the game has batted in every single inning, and it is another inning. The Jackrabbits send 6 batters to the plate. Grant to left center field. Incoming is Mayday. Makes a sliding catch to end the inning. 6 innings in the books. Kokomo has sent at least 6 batters to the plate in every inning, and they lead this ball game 13-0 here on Pittsburgh Radio. Back here in the 7th inning, Gaiman Trafficante will lead off. Still on the mound, Dylan Delvecchio. No reason that he shouldn't be on the mound. He still has a pretty low pitch count at this point in the game. Line drive to center field. It's going to drop in for a hit. A leadoff single for Trafficante. This is where you have to score that runner. It's the 3rd time in 7 innings that the Pittsburghers have put on the leadoff man. Younger led off with a double in the 1st. Steigels with a single in the 2nd. Neither of those runs scored. Now they have a leadoff hit here in the 7th. Have to find a way to score that run. First pitch to Christian Faust, inside corner, called strike 1 on the fastball. Delvecchio hasn't even dominated hitters, really. He only has 1 strikeout in the game, and that was last inning. He's just making players put it in play, and they're not getting hits. They're hitting it hard, just not finding holes, really. They do have 7 hits, though. Just not able to really piece those together. They've only had multiple hits in an inning twice. 2-1 pitch to Faust here from Delvecchio. Is fouled straight back to the screen. Evens the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch to Faust. Deals outside the count full. This is a game Traverse City's offense can look at and not really hang their heads on, because they've hit the ball well. They have 7 hits. They're just not finding holes. Runner goes. Faust takes ball 4. So runners now on 1st and 2nd with nobody out. It's their best chance to score all night long. Let's see if they can take advantage and get a runner across home plate, get on the scoreboard. For the first time tonight, Delvecchio is being met on the mound by his head coach for a visit. A single and a walk to start the inning. Top of the order up for Traverse City. This is why they need to score now. And the top of the order up. Just get a run across. Started the day off with a double. Has grounded out to the shortstop his last two at-bats. Delvecchio ready to face Younger for the fourth time. Throws the first pitch to him. Breaking ball. Gets away from Lavorsi behind the plate. Those runners will move up 90 feet. I would rule that a pass ball, and they will. I'm going to say Lavorsi probably should have caught that ball. Right through with the wickets. And now runners on third and second. By far the best chance to score for the Pittsbitters. They can score a couple here. Maybe this can be the start of a big comeback. It's not entirely impossible. They had a span of 3 innings against Rockford where they had 11 runs score. So they just add a couple more to that total. They can do it. (2-0) count to Younger. Here against Delvecchio. Swings at the 2-0, fouls it off out of play. So the count now, 2-1. Two-one pitch to Younger is high and inside, taken for a ball. Here is the 2. Count was 2-2. Thought it was 3-1, but that ball's high. Traverse City did score 11 runs in an inning against Battle Creek on July 14th. They scored 18 runs in a 2-inning span, so it is possible to come back. This could be the start of it. The 3-2 to Younger is fouled straight back. He'll stay alive. With the top of the order up, Camaletti on deck, Flores in the hole. Have to get at least 2 to make things interesting. Have to score both those runners on base. If you can score more and have a pretty decent sized inning here, you can put some pressure on Kokomo. Get that starting pitcher out of the game. Another full count pitch. Delvecchio to Younger. He deals. Outside. The bases now will be loaded for Mario Camaletti. Now, Mario tonight is 0 for 2. He has 1 walk, but his 2 outs. Hard hit balls. Hard line out to left field. A hard ground out to first. Big bats in the order are up here. First pitch to Camaletti. He takes outside. Nope, he takes for strike 1 on the outside corner. Oh, 1 count. The pitch. Mario to left field. That's going to drop in for a hit. 2 runs are going to score. Younger to third. Camaletti to second. An RBI double, and the Pittsbitters are on the scoreboard. It took 7 innings, but Traverse City finally breaks through, gets on the board. And this is what I'm talking about, where you start to just put together some at-bats. Now they can make the game a little more interesting if they can at least score Mario from second and make it 13-4. Tito Flores, the batter, 0 for 3. First pitch to him, he takes low and outside. Del Vecchio, I think, is starting to become a little fatigued on the hill. He's thrown over 90 pitches now. And he's had long periods of time to wait in between innings. So that could play a toll as well, as Flores chases a high fastball for the first strike. Last night, a low-scoring game, 4-3. Felt like a playoff type of game. Tonight, not so much, as Kokomo has been handing it to Traverse City so far. Up 13-2. They scored the first 13 runs of the game on 18 hits. 10 more hits than Traverse City right now. But the Pittsburghers are making some noise. They've gotten a couple hits here in the inning. They've scored 2 runs, 2 more in scoring position, as Flores fouls one straight back out of play. Count now is 2-2, even to Flores. Trying to keep this little rally going here in the 7th. Del Vecchio deals. Flores back to the screen, fouls it off. Monroe is on deck. Mayday in the hole. Both of those players are 1 for 3. Steigels is 3 batters away, 2 for 3 in the game. So they have hitters coming up who have already knocked a ball into the outfield today with some base hits. Another 2-2. Inside, almost hit Tito. Just able to avoid being hit in the count 3-2 full. Top of the order has been pretty good. In fact, for the Pittsburghers, there's only 2 hitters without a hit. Kind of like Kokomo. All their batters have a hit. It's just they have 3 players with multiple. 3-2 pitch. Flores to right center field. Marcy over. He will make a running catch. Coming home to score is Younger. My mistake. Camaletti is in at third on a sacrifice fly from Tito. Thought that ball was headed straight for the gap, but Marcy covered the ground to get there and make the catch. A run does score, so it makes it 13-3. Traverse City gets a little closer. Chris Monroe, the batter. It's be a big time for a long ball to cut the lead even more. Monroe is the team leader with 6. He has a home run here at Kokomo already this season. Facing a lefty, he has the advantage. Del Vecchio deals. Monroe, little chopper to second. Played by Ellis, the defensive replacement. And throw in time. Camaletti does score. So now it's a 13-4 game. RBI ground out for Chris Monroe. Two outs now for Evan Mayday. After 4 straight batters reached, there are back-to-back outs in the inning, but both those outs at least produced runs. And for Chris Monroe, after going a span of 7 consecutive games without an RBI, he had 4 RBIs against Rockford on Wednesday, has 1 today. So he's starting to climb back into the RBI race in the Northwoods League. He now has 46. Comparing that to the rest of the league leaders, he is 5 RBIs behind the leader, Jackson Lofton of Fond du Lac, 1 RBI away from Matthew Higgins of Mankato. As Mayday gets a 2-1 count here. Singled his last at bat. He is 1 for 3 against the left-handed pitching Delvecchio. Delvecchio fires a 2-1. Mayday fouled off to the right side. It's now 2-2. Traverse City was getting something going here in the inning. They had 2 hits, a couple walks. They scored 4 runs. So at least they're on the board. Two pitch from Delvecchio. He fires to Mayday. Mayday takes high on a fastball, so the count will run full 3-2. That pitch taken by Mayday for ball 4. A big inning for Traverse City. He scored 4 runs. Looking for a couple more here with the 2-out walk. Brings in Michael Steigels, who already has 2 hits in the game. First pitch to Steigels, swings and misses at an elevated fastball. Delvecchio trying to get out of the inning. He's thrown 33 pitches, the longest inning he's thrown today. And Steigels fouls one out of play. He's also now thrown 108 pitches total. A long outing for him. Oh, 2 pitch here to Steigels, trying to get out of the inning. Runner goes. Steigels swings and misses at what's going to be the last batter faced in the game for Dylan Delvecchio. 109 pitches. Only that 1 inning. He got rocked around, gave up 4 runs, but his team's up 13-4 as we go now to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here in Kokomo. Be back in a minute on Pit Spitter Radio. Welcome back to Kokomo, bottom of the 7th inning here. 13-4 game. Jackrabbits on top. Up by a large margin. This is the portion where the Jackrabbits are going to start making some changes and getting some new players into the game. Ryan Ellis entered for Gavin Grant to play second base in the 7th. Now, Jacob Simons will pinch hit for Tora Otsuka, who was going to leave the game 4 for 4 with a walk, on base all 5 plate appearances, and 3 RBIs. Nolan Belshner still the pitcher as he throws one outside. It's a 2-1 count to Simons. But Jacob Marcy still has a bat in the on-deck circle. Wonder what the thought process is to have him still in the game, but take out Grant and Otsuka at the top of the lineup. Would have rather had Otsuka hit and pinch hit for Jacob Marcy, because Otsuka get himself one more hit. I mean, can't really ignore that when picking Northwoods League Player of the Night. 3-1 pitch is a fastball right down the middle to Simons as the count goes full. Otsuka had batted in all 5 innings before being pinch hit here in the 7th. Didn't bat in the 6th. And Simons pops one up right side. It's going to drift out of play. He'll stay alive on the full count pitch. Belshner's thrown over 50 pitches now. Reband just giving him some work. A starting pitcher, so he's used to going long innings. His 3-2 here to Simons. He deals. Lifted to center. Mayday coming in. He'll make the catch for the first out. So again, Belshner has gotten the leadoff batter in all 3 innings he's pitched. Continues to do that. At the plate, Jacob Marcy, who walked his last time up against Belshner. It ended a streak he had of 3 consecutive at-bats with a hit. But he's been on base 4 straight times. Struck out in the first. He's been on base every time since. First pitch to him is outside. If you look at the box score, there's only 2 starters for the Jackrabbits who have not been on base multiple times. As Marcy hits one to right, Flores back at the track will make the catch on a deep fly out by Marcy. And it's 3 straight innings now that Belshner retires the first 2 of an inning. He has struggled to put away the 3rd out. In both 5th and 6th innings, he got the first 2 outs and then gave up back-to-back singles. See if he can recover and get a 1-2-3 inning here. First pitch to Chris Santiago down low. Santiago is one of those just 2 players in the lineup that have not been on base multiple times. I stand corrected because Luke Spillane was hit by a pitch. So Santiago is the only player in the Jackrabbit lineup who has only been on base 1 time. He has 1 hit. It came in the 4th, so he is 1 for 5 in the game. There are 6 Jackrabbits with multiple hits. A huge offensive game for Kokomo. As Santiago fouls another ball down the left side foul. That's back-to-back pitches. He's been early on and fouled it off. So Belshner, who has not had a strikeout in his first 2 2/3 innings, he can get one here. and hand Kokomo their first 1, 2, 3 inning of the game. His 1-2 pitch to Santiago is lifted to left. Younger is there. Younger makes the catch. That ends a couple streaks. It ends the inning streak where Belshner got 2 and then gave up 2 hits. And it ends the streak. Kokomo, for the first 6 innings, sent at least 6 batters to the plate. Here, just 3. And we go to the 8th inning here. 2 innings left to play on Pittsburgh Radio. Welcome back to Kokomo here in the top of the 8th inning for the bottom of the Pittsburgh order. Now, Kokomo was making some changes in their lineup. Traverse City doing the same. Logan Heilick will pinch hit for Miguel Useche here to lead off. Useche ends his night 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. Heilick 1 for 4 on the season. He's only started 1 game against Rockford. The starting catcher on Monday had 1 hit. It was an infield hit. His first game since joining the team. Now he's back in the lineup as a pinch hitter. Swings and misses at a breaking ball outside from Garrett Bell, who's making his pitching debut for the Jackrabbits. Has an 0-2 count to Heilick. Heilick shoots 1 foul out of play. He stays alive. Traficante in the on-deck circle, so he will remain in the lineup. No pinch hitter for him. Give him an opportunity from the left side of the plate now against a righty. Another 0-2. Bell to Heilick. Right back at him on the mound. Fields flips to first for out number 1. Del Vecchio's night ends with 7 innings pitched, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. That's the almost exact same stat line as the last time. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 7 hits and 4 walks. But it took 7 innings for Traverse City to get on the scoreboard. Had they spaced that out through the game, they could have gotten him out of the game sooner. It could have changed a whole lot in this ballgame. Might not have changed Kokomo's offense all that much, but it would have sucked some momentum away from them. as the count is 0-2 to Traficante. Big swing and a miss, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and down goes Traff for out number 2. So in will step Christian Faust, who's 0-2. He has grounded out to third base twice, and he has walked once and scored. Looking for a little 2-out spark here. First pitch swinging, comes up empty. Bell looking for a 1-2-3 out of the bullpen. Deals one low and inside. Belshner for Traverse City got the first 1-2-3 inning for the Pittsburghers all game. And now Bell will get a 1-2-3 inning for the Jackrabbits as Faust rolls over one to first. And steps on the base to end the inning. Another 0 on the board for Traverse City. And the last trip to the plate for the Jackrabbits in the bottom of the 8th here on Pittsburgh Radio. Back here in Kokomo for the bottom of the 8th inning as the Jackrabbits are about to finish off a split in the series here and would split the season series overall. As Corbin Morrison, the left-hander from Tennessee, will pitch here in the 8th. The count is 2-0 to Dylan Dennis. Make that 3-0. Another pitch out of the zone. There's a strike fired from Morrison. Worst loss on the season for Traverse City came against Kalamazoo. They lost that game 18-2. The night after they beat them 16-2. Their worst loss at home was against Kenosha. It was a 12-0 loss. Now they're down 9. Leadoff walk to Dennis from Morrison, which has been his big problem this season, the control and losing hitters, and that one's going to hit Spillane right in the middle of the back. He's been hit now for the second time tonight. He'll go down to first. First and second in the inning with nobody out. Josh Rebant out of the dugout to go talk to his pitcher. Just been a control thing for Morrison this season. He's been really good on the hill when he's in control of his stuff. And Morrison's going to leave the game here in the 8th. He faces 2 batters, walks 1, hits the other, and another pitching change. In comes Daniel Carter, another lefty out of the bullpen. So he'll take the mound, throw some warm-up pitches, and then we'll be back here on Pittsburgh Radio. Back in the bottom of the 8th, Daniel Carter is the 6th Pittsburgh pitcher to take the hill tonight, relieving Corbin Morrison, who threw to just 2 batters. He walked 1, hit another one with a pitch. On only 6 pitches, his night ends, and Daniel Carter's night begins. Had a rough outing his last time against Rockford in the 22-12 victory. Pitched the 9th inning, gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks. But that stat line should have been 1 inning and I think 1 hit or 1 walk, something like that. They had the Rivets had a runner or 2 on base in the 9th inning. And Carter got back-to-back ground balls that had the potential to be double play balls to end the game. And even if they weren't, they both would have just produced 1 out. That would have ended the game. And they took terrible bounces off of the infield dirt at Rockford and skipped straight over the head. 1 over Christian Faust's head at third, 1 over Cam Schulke's head at shortstop. Had those balls not taking those kind of hops, Carter would have been out of the 9th without a run allowed. Instead, it snowballed to a 5-run inning. And now the first pitch gets away from Heilick. Runners are on third and second as Younger makes a catch on a sinking fly ball to shallow left field for the first out. That holds the runners there. So third and second, one away for Camden Vazquez at the bottom of the order. Surprised Kokomo only made 2 changes all game. Up this big, it's usually where you get guys in off the bench. But really only 1 change. Jacob Simon's pinch hitting for Tora Otsuka. Because Ryan Ellis came in for Gavin Grant, but that is a defensive replacement. And he has not seen the plate. So really only 1 change in the lineup. As Carter deals outside to Vazquez, the count's 2-0. Vazquez, one of the hitters with multiple hits tonight. He's 2 for 5, both singles. Had 2 RBIs in the 3rd inning on his single. That's what really started the rally that broke this game wide open. Swing and a miss. Count to 2-1. As Carter will just try to strand these runners, get this game to the 9th. Traverse City, not the way they wanted this series to end, especially when they have to hop on a bus and head back to Traverse City. Grounded to first. Plays made by Monroe. He'll step on it. A run will come across. And the Jackrabbits back up by 10. It is 14-4. Yep, got to play that stupid horn. Got to make sure that goes off. There's some things that should be sport exclusive. The horn is a hockey thing. Let's keep that in hockey. Let's not bring that to baseball. Baseball has the wave. Let's keep that in baseball. Swing and a miss by Adam Crampton. His last at-bat of the game here. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI, a pair of runs scored, and a walk. Carter deals a strike into him, so the count to him is 1-2. Here's his pitch. Crampton swings at a ball in the dirt. Heilick has to throw to first. He throws low, but it's picked by Monroe, and that will end the inning. 1 run scores. That is credited to Corbin Morrison as Carter slams the door. And we go now to the 9th inning, last inning of play before the Jackrabbits finish off a split series. And Traverse City hops on a bus to head back home to take on the Rockford Rivets. On to the 9th on Pittsburgh Radio. Top of the 9th inning here in Kokomo, Indiana. The top of the order will bat for Traverse City. Trey Younger will lead off. Mario Camaletti on deck. Tito Flores is in the hole. The pitcher for Kokomo, James Flayhive. He'll just get the 9th inning. Try to lock up this 10-run lead and get ready to host Lakeshore for 2 games starting tomorrow. First pitch to Younger is high for ball 1. Younger in the game 1 for 3. His double back in the first. Walked and scored in the 7th. Side armor deals. Younger to right field. It's going to drop in for a hit in front of Marcy. Multi-hit night for Trey Younger. He's now just one of 2 pit spitters with multiple hits, joining Michael Steigels. Brings in Mario Camaletti, who will be facing a lefty once again. Faced Del Vecchio for his first 4 at-bats. Now another lefty in Flayhive. Doubled home 2 runs his last time up. Younger takes off, and no throw down. They're just going to let him take the bag. So a runner in scoring position for Camaletti. Pitch was a ball as well. That one a strike. A pitch across the knees. The second baseman for Traverse City has doubled and walked in 4 plate appearances, keeping his on-base percentage right at 500. Takes a pitch outside. If he can get on base here, he'll push it above 500, as Justin Janis of Kenosha has taken the lead in on-base percentage, as he's 502 entering today. Camaletti through the left side with a base hit. He loves going to the opposite field. His double in the 7th was hit Oppo. That one an Oppo single. Now 3 pit spitters with multiple hits. And there are runners on the corners with nobody out. Try and just score a couple more runs and make this game look like it was a little more competitive. Try to cut it to a single-digit deficit with Flores at the plate. A sacrifice fly his last time up. He's hitless, though, 0 for 3. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. Flayhive, not a lot of velocity on his fastball. So a chance for hitters to try and take advantage. Oh, 1 count to Flores. A pick over. I mean, it's the 9th inning, and Kokomo is up 10 runs. Let's just throw some pitches here. Who cares if Camaletti takes off? Doesn't take off, and the pitch is outside to Flores. It's a 1-1 count to Tito. And now 1-2 as he swings and fouls one onto the concourse on the first base side. Tito was 1 for 4 yesterday with the sac fly. He's 0 for 3 today with the sac fly. He can have the same stat line if he gets a hit. that ball to left, and it's down for a hit. And Flores is going to have the exact same stat line for 2 consecutive nights, 1 for 4, with a double and a sacrifice fly. How about that? Well, not the exact same, because that one was an RBI double. So he has 2 RBIs tonight. He only had 1 RBI yesterday. So it's not the exact same, but everything but the RBIs is the exact same. Little double for Tito. Puts runners on third and second. Nobody out for Chris Monroe. Likely going to be his last at-bat unless Traverse City bats around in the inning. Which is possible. They have done so many times this year. They can cut this lead right in half with a base hit. They've already lost a game by double digits this season a couple times. It won't be the case today as Flores knocked in a run. Monroe fouls one out of plate on the right side. Looks like the strategy is to pitch Monroe away, as that's where Flahive's thrown all these pitches outside on the corner. Monroe might have reached out of the zone just a hair on that last pitch when he fouled it off. Count is 1-2 to Chris Monroe. 3 consecutive hits to start the inning here. Flahive's 1-2. Monroe, little blooper, caught by the shortstop, and his throw goes to second for a double play. Little base running mistake by Flores. I think he thought the ball was going to be down in shallow left, but it was caught, and that puts the Pitts Bitters down to their final out. Runner still on third for Evan Mayday. Well, now they can't cut the lead in half with a base hit. They're going to need either a home run or a couple more hits. First pitch strike, thrown to Evan Mayday on the outside corner. And ball just a little high. The same pitch as the last one. Looked like a cutter or maybe a little slider out of the hand of Flahive. Mayday up the middle. Crampton fields, throws, and that is going to do it here. A 14-5 victory for the Jackrabbits. They go back on top. 2 games in the overall standings with 8 left to play this season. They continue their homestand against the Lakeshore Chinooks tomorrow. Then they'll play Kenosha, then Battle Creek and Kalamazoo. Traverse City returns home tomorrow for a matchup with the Rockford Rivets. And then they will travel to Rockford before hosting Kalamazoo, before traveling to Battle Creek. Little home away to end the season. They need to realistically, I'd say, win 7 of their last 8 games to have a chance at the overall title. That gives Kokomo some room to lose a few games. It's going to be close down the stretch between these 2 teams, but this will likely be the matchup come playoff time, as Kokomo is now on top 4 games of Kenosha with 8 to play. That is a very, very tall margin to overcome. Well, the storyline was just Kokomo's bats were explosive all game long, and pitchers really couldn't do anything about that. I don't think any pitcher in the Northwoods League could have stopped the Jackrabbits tonight. They were just on it. They came out firing, and it worked. They win big, 14-5. 5. That's going to wrap it up here. Back on the Northwoods League stream tomorrow on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. So be there for the game tomorrow as Traverse City looks to continue dominating the Rivets. They are 7-1 on the season against Rockford with 4 games left to play. That game tomorrow, 7:05 Eastern Time at Turtle Creek Stadium. Cade Heil will make a start against a pitcher undecided yet for the Rivets. So tune into that one at 7:05. Pregame show at about 6:45. And should be a great 8 days of baseball to end the regular season. Only 8 games left. Crazy to be saying that. And there's only 4 home games left. So getting in the home stretch here before the playoffs. So be on the stream tomorrow. 6:45 Eastern Time is when it starts for the pregame show for a matchup with the Rockford Rivets. I'm Stephen Walker from Kokomo, Indiana, signing off, and hopefully we'll see you on the stream tomorrow. Have a good night.